Believe within your heart, you know.
From a very, 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 very early point in my childhood, I knew for sure that I wanted to sing. I just didn't know that I would go through 11 career paths and a whole bunch of trauma to get there.
China has identified the cause of the mysterious new virus.
Coronavirus.
Coronavirus.
There are fears a rapidly spreading virus has reached Australia.
This is a rapidly emerging situation where there is not a cause for alarm.
The first US case has been detected.
There's confirmation the coronavirus has reached Australia.
China is urging its citizens not to travel abroad as it struggles to contain the virus.
We will be standing up Christmas Island as a quarantine area.
Foreign nationals coming from China are now banned from entering the country.
I have today declared that the coronavirus presents a public health emergency in the United States.
Trying to contain a city of 11 million people is new to science. It has not been tried before as a public health measure.
The death toll now has risen above that of the SARS outbreak 17 years ago.
We now have a name for the disease, COVID-19.
When COVID became a thing, I actually relocated to different cities just on a travel journey and found myself in New Orleans and eventually Mexico.
Which is still used today, gumbo filet, which both the okra and the filet fill the same role as a thickening agent to your gumbo. Our word for the sassafras powder is gumbo. How fucking crazy is that? When I found that shit out, my mind was blown out.
Coming to Mexico has been an incredibly eye-opening experience because when I came here, I lived very luxuriously and I took really great care of myself. Earlier that year, my mother had passed and I just spoke and affirmed that I wanted to be by the water, and I ended up there, and it was just such an empowering time of healing and rest because I had been working since I was 11 years old, and I needed to reconfigure my mindset around wealth and what it looked like, what it felt like to live a life of affluence. I fully embraced taking really immaculate care of myself, getting efficient rest, creating a ritual and a practice to take care of my body, eating well, sleeping well, being in nature, and just truly connecting to my inner reservoir, because up until that point I was pouring from my cup as opposed to my overflow. And so during my journey here in Mexico, I learned how to pour from overflow, because once you pour from your cup, it's no longer full. And so I had to learn that the overflow is what I am supposed to give from, so that I'm not giving to a point of depleting myself. Once I felt fully rested and really restored emotionally, mentally, spiritually, and found a proper way to grieve my mother's transition and grieve the death of different relationships and things of that nature, I then began to develop communal spaces, and I began to host things, and I began to model, and I began to do all of the different things that I've always wanted to do. And one thing about the magic of the part of Mexico that I live in is that once you make your mind up to do something, everything begins to align to bring that manifestation to fruition.
And go. The money bag. And so everybody who has attended this experience put some money in this bag. Visualization of your name being called. This one stuck to me.
Right. On point. She was like, that's my name, stuck to you.
And what's so wild is, I've been hosting events for a long time now, but I haven't really been on a bullhorn you know, really promoting and sharing all of the things and all of the videos of everything that I do and all of the lives that I have been led to, you know, influence and touch. But I be out here in these streets, you know, really doing all of the works. And, you know, now I've come to a point of self-confidence, self-value, and self-love enough to share everything that I have been putting out into the universe and all of the ways that I care to move in the world. I've offered so many different services and products and creations to the universe, and at the underlying frequency of all of that has been my call and my urge to really return to music. I just couldn't visualize or couldn't ideate how music could pay for my life if I was to choose it. And so it was just this, you know, ongoing thing where I was doing all of these things and they were fun and I enjoyed them. But music kept calling me home. I kept hearing the ring, but I didn't know what would happen if I answered. And now I'm at a crossroads. I've created all of these different resources for community expansion and experiences, and now I'm having to choose myself, and it's one of the most difficult things I've ever done in my life. And I am putting myself out there to request help for manifesting the vision of me becoming a full-time artist. And in order to do that, I have to expose everyone, all of my vulnerabilities, in addition to all of the different creations that I've already birthed. I've already created so much, and I just really want everyone to see that and support that. This is a new place for me, asking for help, but I feel like if I ask for help, it will unconsciously allow a bunch of people to say, hey, I need help. I am doing my best and I need assistance. And I think that that is one of the bravest things that we can do, because we have been put under this mass illusion that we have to do it alone.
Channeling now you're being a move, Hamusa. Grace be a bit of ready group thing. Hey, Maggie ready. Patty wet, pat, step. Back. I don't make sense. I don't know how to act. There's sunlight. The sun is shining. Even if all the shit hits the fan, you're still breathing. Is that the sun rising on the horizon? Sometimes it's soft as a misty rain that gently touches my soul. It's a combo, eat it up, a shifty gumbo. Orgasms are my favorite subject. I want this pleasure isn't something you can dissect, and no there is no perfect formula. Everyone's body is its own phenomena, initiated in the emotional. Obatalia is an androgynous size, neither female nor male, and my birth name is Aliyah. And so I put the two together, and it symbolizes the integration of my masculine and my feminine energy. The feminine and the